Hey folks, you get it? Hey folks, Tim here, ABC Acres, Hamilton, Montana. Today is September 12th, Wednesday, September 12th, and I want to talk about hay. Currently here at ABC Acres, we are planning for our winter fodder needs for our cattle herd, and I thought we'd go through a little bit of what we're thinking about and how that works out for the best efficiencies, the best price point for ABC Acres, and maybe you could extrapolate some of that information and apply it in scale to your needs. Now, as I mentioned in earlier videos, we're moving beyond our holding of our pigs during the winter months. So when it comes to our hay needs in small squares, 50, 60 pound bales, we're focusing just on our goats. We've purchased 200 square bales. Again, 50, 60 pounders that will store or are stored in a covered area for our goats. But we're going to be talking today is our large round tonnage bales and what we're considering with regards to our winter needs. Presently here at ABC Acres, we have approximately 24 head. We've got 23 head over there, and then we've got one going to market. We're going to be picking up another 6 to 8 at the end of September, which will give us approximately 31 head going into the winter season. We'll start feeding hay right at the middle end of November, 1st of December. We figure our demands at that point are roughly 96 round bales. I use that with some leeway because round bales can be a different weight. These are approximately 1,500 pounds. We're picking up some later today that are 1,800 pounds. So let's not concentrate right now on the tonnage. Let's just concentrate on the bales for this purpose of conversation. Going into this winter season, at 5.5 months of winter and feeding demands, we're going to be acquiring approximately 96 round bales. You can also get square bales. These are large square bales, 6-8 feet by 5 foot square. We opted for the round bales because the round shape does allow precipitation, rain, or melting snow to shed off, rather than the squares that it can soak into and potentially rot those bales over a period of months, decreasing the value of what you just paid for. So in our context, we're going with rounds. There are a couple of different rounds we're looking at. This one is tied in with bales every 6-8 inches, baling twine every 6-8 inches. Pretty standard. It's open to the elements though. So if we don't have a hay barn, if we don't have these tarped, even though it's rounded to shed, it's still going to absorb an amount of precipitation. And that in time will lead to a level of rot. So if this is the way we're going, great, but what are we going to lose, and how do we plan on buying a little extra hay to account for that loss? Let's go take a look at another one. This, on the other hand, is a woven fabric that encases it from end to end. Believe it or not, it's the exact same weight, 1,500 pounds, but it's more compressed. And as you can see, any rain or snow really has a better chance of running off it rather than saturating in. It's a little more to take off when we do present it to the cattle in the field, but that's a small price to pay, if you will, in your time allotment. And so here we have 16 bales, 15 which are the bale twine and one that is not. I've got another 80 coming over the next few days to make our total of 96, and they're going to be all the woven mesh encased. This works well for our context. We get rain in the fall season, we get snow in the fall and winter. What can we do to minimize rot and loss of productive hay? Both the same price points, roughly $100 per ton. Let's talk about this a little bit more. Okay, so I am at ground zero for where we wanted to build a hay barn this fall to be able to cover our 96 round bales, to keep them out of the precipitation, to keep them out of the snow. Recently got a quote on that hay barn right around $40,000 to build a glulam, column, truss system, sheet metal roof, 48 squared. That's pretty expensive. And when I think about disposable dollars on the farm, I think we can look at a different option with regards to maintaining the integrity of our hay through the winter season. Two options. Currently we do have a used older tarp, which we're planning to go ahead and cover these. Pretty simple. We got 3-4 guys on the ground at any given time. If we get snow, if we get rain, we just, as we take the bales out with the tractor and the bale spear, we just continue to roll the tarp back. They're all protected. Yay. That seems pretty successful. Save $40,000. However, in Montana, we get 3 inches of snow in a night. We could get 36 inches of snow in a night. And so here you have to climb up on a 2-tier, 2-level round bale storage and shovel that snow off, which can be dangerous. If you don't get to it, you get freezing rain. Next thing you know, you've got 3, 6, 9 inches of packed ice on this tarp, which becomes very problematic, very difficult for human manpower to get off. And so that doesn't interest me a whole lot. Bear in mind, we're going that route, I believe. We're certainly not going to spend the $40,000 on a hay barn this winter season. Another alternative, which I really like, is if you can imagine a double stacked hay bales, those rounds stacked row to row, but next to each other, bump, 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 and then you go up a second tier. What if you went ahead and bought an extra percentage of hay to create a third tier that you were doing strictly to waste it, knowing it would get rain, it would get snow? So doing the math, if I bought 96 bales at approximately 8 rounds wide and 8 rows deep, that's probably 7 rows deep, that means I would need to buy approximately another 20 bales to top it at that row 3. 20 bales at $2,000 would be covered by snow, would be covered by rain, and would be wasted. But I could do that 20 years in a row. 20 years times $2,000 of third level hay would equate to that $40,000 I'm saving by not building the hay barn. And the waste hay, each year I can take and I can put on degraded pasture, open it up, get the biomass on the ground, create this new seed bank, hold moisture in the coming season. And as it's covered by snow and ice and it's heavy and horrible, can still get this up to the third tier and move it off. We're not demanding physical human power anymore. And that's pretty interesting. That's a consideration. And so when I look at prices of building a hay barn by investing in hay, what is it year one? What is it right now? But how do I look at the disposable dollar I'm spending today, and how does that affect what I can do year to year to year? And there are a lot of things going on here with ABC Acres, new planting projects, new materials and equipment we may need. And so I think we can go a better route with the tarp and fighting the ice, or buying excess hay as an understood waste product that will be a benefit to our pastures, that we can save again on that large allocation of capital for hay structure, hay barn structure. And so as you're getting into your winter plans for your livestock demands, how many head do you have? Work the calculations. You can Google them. I'll find a link and put it on this video. Determine how many tonnage of hay you need. Your climate, do you want the large square bales? Do you want the round bales? If you go with the round bales, how do you want them? The open twine one, or do you want to get the woven mesh? And how does that benefit with your climate? How are you going to store it? Is it you just getting it? Do you have a machine like this? So do you want it under cover? Do you want it under tarp? Do you want to do the waste straw? How does that play into your disposable dollar and plans for your capital allocations in your personal or business operation year to year? Those are things that we're considering here. And yeah, so we'll continue forth on that mindset. And over the coming weeks, we'll do a follow-up and showcase the system of what we've chosen and how it works. So I hope you learned something here today with regards to your hay needs for this winter. Be interested to know what you're doing in your neck of the woods, and if you got a better price point for me on a hay barn, or you want to come out and build it or help us build it, maybe that's something we should do. So happy growing, everyone. Enjoy your week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.